Okay. Audio check and then the music will begin. Okay. Audio check and then the music will begin. Okay. Audio check and then the music will begin.
Alrighty. Good morning.
Alrighty. Okay, music. Bum, 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 bum. All right, that was good. That was enough of an intro. Hello, thank you for joining. I am Sydney Winston, and today we're going to have another look at Von Helton. Believe it or not, Von Helton went and wrote to the FBI. And what we're going to do is, here it is. We're going to read through it and we're going to analyze it. And we're also going to look at Von Helton's last live stream, which I think we will start off with. So let's get to it. Let's go, Von Helton, buddy.
Good morning. It's a Bon Live. It is not a morning coffee because it's not 3 a.m. It's 8 a.m. And so we're going to do a live on live, just me as far as I know, unless somebody pops in. But it's just me at the moment. And
He's going to be doing a
just,
lot of
to update
complaining,
you and
a lot of
to
crying.
talk about some things that I
Get your
posted to
tissues.
social that I never got around to talking about. And then that's it. Then I'll leave you alone. I'll get out of your hair. But just to talk about some things that I posted and basically give you an update. Um, I am still hooked up to the internet, but now that they know that there's no money there, because I just got an email from them saying your
Got to
payment
get the
didn't get
update.
auto paid, so I could go at any moment. So it seems obvious.
So just for the record, this was recorded on the 28th, which is yesterday, and he said that his internet was going to be cut off on the 26th. Well, his bill was only paid up until the 26th. So he's talking about whatever grace period they're giving him to pay, which he can't.
Obvious that people would rather pay convicted criminals and evil fuckers money than people like myself that want to bring them the truth.
Well, that's a problem because people don't pay for the truth, and people don't pay for evil, and people don't pay for good. People pay for entertainment. And you, Von Helton, are even less entertaining than one Sydney Winston, who has a YouTube channel. Isn't that great?
I watched a drunken peasants video
Ha
last night.
ha. Okay. Okay, well, the drunken peasants are entertaining. I watched a little bit of them after he mentioned drunken peasants. I went and I looked them up, watched the show that he's referring to, and let me tell you, he's mega exaggerating.
He got $909.11.
Nine
Nine
hundred and
hundred
nine
and nine
dollars
dollars and
and
eleven
11
cents.
cents. What he's claiming here is that the drunken peasants was talking about the drunken peasants show was talking about Von Helton, and they people gave them $900 while they were talking to Von Helton. He could see the yellow counter, progression counter. He could see them. He could see it progress to $900. That's nonsense. I'll explain to you in a bit. Carry on, Vaughn.
I sit here with no money. I don't understand. A drunk, by their own admission, a drunk. It's called the drunken peasants. Hello. So admittedly he's a drunk. Admittedly he's, I think he even has a criminal record. For sure, though,
He doesn't. Who's he talking about? He, a drunken peasant. He has a criminal record. There's one thing about von Helton is that he has a acute. He feels that he comes from a position of authority. He really thinks that he's an authority figure. But if anything, he's an authority figure at making stuff up and imaginary things and just straight out lying, which we will be covering in this, or he will be covering. Every time he speaks, he lies. Watch.
the purpose of their show is to harass, bully, antagonize, defame other people. That's his show. That's what he does.
Okay, well, so what if it is? If nobody was watching, if nobody would watch, he wouldn't be doing it because there wouldn't be an audience. For what you're doing, Von Helton, there's no audience. You're the most boring, lying, stupid, ignorant motherfucker on this planet.
Over and over and over again. And so I'm watching this show, and I'm watching this yellow line up there, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
See,
and by the
there's
time the
yellow
show
line.
was over, he had $109.11. A drunk, and possibly a criminal. And he got $900 while he was doing his live show. While he was doing his live show, he got $900. I don't understand, folks. Help me to understand this shit. Help me to understand why a fucking drunk that is belligerent, that is fucking evil, that is fucking doing his best to destroy people's lives, gets $900 fucking dollars in a live show, and I don't get shit.
Okay, well, it's actually quite easy, Von Helton. Number one, the Drunken Peasants has variety. Okay, unlike you and me, they have variety. So when they talk about you're only one small segment of their show. Okay? That's number one. And number two, I went back and I watched two Drunken Peasant segments, two different ones that featured you. And you were on there and they were talking about you for maybe a few minutes. Okay? The difference in time was, I don't know, was a couple of months maybe between the first video I watched and the last video I watched. And that bar with the donations wasn't $900 coming in all at once. It was $900 accumulated over time. So this guy, this Von Helton thinks it's all about him. He thinks that when he's being spoken about on YouTube, on the Drunken Peasant show, people open up their wallets and throw money at the Drunken Peasants because they're talking about Von Helton, and he cannot understand this. He's an idiot.
You see my fucking phone ringing? Yeah, no, you don't. You know why? Because ain't nobody sent it yet. That's why. It's insane. I don't get it, man. Let's see. Yeah, remind me later, fuckers. I don't get it. Help me to understand.
Okay, can you help me? If there's any audio issues, let me know because I don't have headphones today, and I'm just trying out a new little setup here without headphones, and I was just wondering if the audio is okay. Yeah, let me know if you can. Thank you.
Help me to understand why a vagabond, a literal vagabond, can get $909.11 and I can't get one fucking penny. Not one. I don't understand.
A vagabond is somebody who um, wanders from place to place, Von Helton. So the drunken peasants are always at the same place every time we see them. So they're literally not vagabonds. And if you say they're a vagabond, you're assuming that they wander around from place to place, penniless, nothing to do, vagabond. But these guys, you admit yourself that the drunken peasants have raked in $900. Right. So they're number one, that makes them not penniless. And number two, as I've mentioned before, they don't wander around. They're always in the same place. So they're not vagabonds. You might want to look up the words, the meanings of the words you use before you use them, Von Helton. A little bit of advice.
I really don't. Honest, I really don't. You know,
You know.
help me to understand this shit.
I
Because
did.
I'm not understanding it at all. I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to bring you the truth that'll actually matter in your life, in your real life.
He is annoying me by saying shit like that. Have you heard him go on about Trump's a Jew and doesn't belong in the country and everybody and the Jews don't belong and the Muslims don't belong and the Christians don't belong? Have you ever heard this guy go off? Well, it's almost as bad as when he starts crying about what happened to what he thinks happened to his family and how the internet uh, destroyed it. But I'm sure he'll get there. Let's see.
What's this fucker doing? Oh, he's just sitting there talking shit about me or about G-Man or about, Cyrax or about John
Yes,
Gashila
so.
or Emo Hallingwolf or, whoever, whatever flavor of the day he happens to be talking shit about. Trailer Park Elvis. They destroyed Trailer Park
Who
Elvis
the
too.
hell is
He
Trailer
kicked out of
Park
his
Elvis?
mobile home, and he had to go on out on the road, and then while he was out on the road, they fucked with him while he was out on the road as well. I just, these people are fucking evil, and they bring in the bugs apparently. But then
Yeah,
people like me
sucks to
that
be
try to
you,
tell the
Yvonne.
truth, well, I don't get shit. I get shat on.
You do.
I get shat on, but I don't get shit. So it's like, okay, whatever, whatever floats your boat, I guess. I don't get it. I really don't. Honest, I really don't understand. Because that fucking drunk, that belligerent piece of shit, should have never got one fucking penny, and he should have had a whole bunch.
So this is probably another reason, Von Helton, why people aren't sending you money. Because you're not a feel good kind of a personality. All you're doing is spewing negativity. Uh, you guys out there who are watching, see if you can find one little iota of mirth, of humor, of positive vibes coming from Von Helton. Help me out. If you do come across one, just put the timestamp in the chat or in the comment. It's crazy.
Bunch of people in the comment section of his live show saying, "Hey, why are you talking shit about Von Helden? Haven't you done enough to the man? He's lost his mother, he's lost his father,
Here we
he's
go.
lost his wife, he's lost his kids, he's lost his inheritance, he even lost his fucking stimulus checks because of you fucks. Don't you think you fucked with Von Helden enough?" But no, apparently not, because they did another fucking video, didn't they? And it's like, and he got $909.11 for talking shit about me. Not for trying to help anybody, not for trying to, improve somebody's way of life, or at the very least tell them the truth about a thing, because everything he said about me was lies anyway.
I don't think so.
But he got $909.11.
Just
I watched the shit
it
happen.
just
I watched that yellow bar
it
get
just
bigger and
irks him.
bigger. Yeah, so I don't understand.
He's
I don't
lying, by
get
the way.
this.
He's lying.
There's my Cash App right there. Cash App is free. It's secure. It's bonded and insured. It's recognized by the Better Business Bureau. Send me a fucking cup of coffee, for fuck's sake. Cup of coffee at Starbucks is what? $8 now, I think.
Eight
7 or 8
bucks for a
bucks.
cup of coffee? Are you crazy?
All right. If 1,000 people send me 7
Hold on a second. Hold on. $8 for a brew coffee? In the United States? I don't think so. I don't live in the United States. But when I go for just a brew coffee, which is what I usually get, because, fancy schmancy coffees and names and prices don't interest me. I just go get a brew coffee, and it's a couple dollars. Sometimes two, sometimes three, sometimes less. If you go to Tim Hortons, it's less. So to say that $8 is what he needs for a cup of coffee, I don't know where he's living, but it's a swanky fucking neighborhood.
or $8, guess what? I'll be able to pay my fucking bills. I won't have to worry about not paying my bills.
Hey, I could say the same thing. Send me many, many, many cups of coffee, and I'll pay my bills. I could say that, but you know what? You could send me many, many, many cups of coffees, or you couldn't. Either way, I'm going to pay my bills.
$1 to $5 per person would pay my bills.
Instead of doing
But
this,
nobody wants to do it. I don't know why. They just don't.
he says $1 to $5 per person, and then he says 1,000. What if 1,000 people were to donate $1 to $5? That's it. 1,000 people.
I guess. I don't understand. Help me to understand this shit, because I'm really not getting it. Why evil fucks can get money, but people like me that try to tell the truth don't get a dime. I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. It don't. It don't make.
He
no
goes
fucking
on and
sense.
on and on about this for a while, and he's
I
expecting.
really do not understand.
Yeah,
I
listen to
really
him.
don't. But oh well.
But oh well. Okay, so now that he's complained about not getting any donations,
You know.
where's he going to go now?
Yeah. Lynn May emails me and says, there's a lot of scammers out there. Well, yeah, there is.
Everybody's a
You know,
scammer.
He
Vaughn.
says, get out there and press hard. I know you hate them, but, what if you went on live? Just ignore them and try to make some money. I don't know. I try to help and I want to help, but many scammers are out there. Yeah, there is. There's a lot of scammers out there. That's true. That's very true. Lots of scammers out there. What are you going to do?
You know what? I remember. I was doing the last time. I think it was one of the last times. I've done a couple of Vaughn videos in the last little while, but one of the last ones I said he was complaining about how he got destroyed by the internet, and I said, well, Vaughn, all you had to do was stay away from the internet, take care of your family, go to work, bring up your family, forget about the internet, focus on your family, and you would have had a wonderful life. And he actually responded to that, whether it was to me or to others, I don't know. And it's coming up towards the end of the video. There's a whole bunch of stuff in the middle which we're gonna skip because crap. I mean, it's really nonsense. But then he gets more personal towards the end. Let me just see how this goes. See how much more we can take of this segment.
Try to sell something. I don't have anything to sell.
See,
She's like, sell something. I don't have anything. What am I going to sell? I mean, there's not much I can
he's
sell.
just making a pity party for himself.
Anyways, so there, I do have people watching. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, was the drunken peasants guy? Was he selling something? No, he's just sitting there.
He was
talking
selling
shit about me and
entertainment.
got $900 fucking dollars.
There you go.
Talking shit about me and got $900, folks. Let that sink in for a second. Why? I don't understand.
Well, you're stupid.
Why.
You're stupid. Don't you understand? It's supply and demand economics, Vaughn. The drunken peasants are supplying entertainment, a product. The viewers, his market, appreciates what the drunken peasants is supplying, and they're willing to pay money to ensure that the drunken peasants can continue. It's simple. For you, they don't care whether you're here or whether you're not, because you're not entertaining. You're a clown, and there's 100 million clowns on this planet. You're not the only one. You're just the clown du jour.
Evil always fucking wins. Now I know the generic response is going to be, well, we live in an evil world. Well, okay. Yeah, because, you've got evil oligarchs that are in control of the world.
There goes the oligarchs now.
The New World Order, if you will. A bunch of globalists in control of the world at the moment.
So if Vaughn had become a millionaire, like he says he should be a millionaire, would he have the same negative feelings towards oligarchs like he does now, or like he claims to? I'm not even sure he knows what an oligarch is, but he's using it.
I don't know. I just, I'm of a mind that, evil should lose and good should win. But anyway, let's move on here because we're going to go over the things I posted on True Social, like I said, that I never got around to.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll get that done and get that. Yeah, look at Hunter Biden. Okay, I just saw a thing about Hunter Biden.
All right, nobody cares about Hunter Biden. But what I want to do, I would like to go back to this post that he made on Truth Social. It wasn't really a post. It was a post. Well, what am I stumbling over words for? Let me just bring it in. Okay, so here it is. All right, so Vaughn, here it is. So Vaughn went on Truth Social and wrote a post or composed a post to Attorney General Pam Bondi and to Kash Patel. Okay. So he writes, 15 years ago, I contacted the FBI via their IC3 website and told them that not one, but 2 online terrorist groups had targeted my family and me for total destruction. The one time an FBI agent did show up, I showed him the pipe bomb that was sent to me in the mail. I was also sent other things, including human waste. I received numerous death threats by email and snail mail, assuring me that my family would be destroyed and I would be left penniless. These online terror groups found that the local government was easily manipulated. They repeatedly sent CPS to my house to steal my kids. So much so, my kids never got a normal childhood. I had a housekeeper, but it didn't matter. Eventually, my wife was driven insane and the kids taken from me permanently for reasons. They enlisted the help of shirt-tail relatives from Ohio to come down and steal my property, which they were more than happy to do. They went into district court with a fake will, became executor, and cleaned out my mother's bank account and any possessions she had. Again, reasons. They doped my mother with a drug called memantine, so she wouldn't be able to testify. When she threatened to go to federal court, they gave her the clot shot, which killed her almost instantly. The court later found the real will, but by then all of my inheritance, cash, jewelry, guns, and documents were long gone. Now that they've succeeded in killing my mother and my father and mother, driving my wife insane, stealing my property and every dime of money I had, and getting my kids adopted out against their will. Now they are throwing around the idea that I'm insane and need to be locked up. Oh, and by the way, no one is in jail. Not one soul. Still not too late to help. I can get my inheritance, property, and kids back if the FBI will intervene. Okay, so what we have here is a little bit of an issue. So I went to Grok and I said, Grok, help me out here. What is this guy actually saying to the FBI and the Attorney General of the United States? But the first thing I did was I went to this Memantine thing. Memantine, right? What is Memantine? So I looked it up, and here it is. Here you go. What is Memantine used for? Memantine is commonly used to treat moderate to severe dementia related to Alzheimer's disease. Okay, blah, 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 blah. And then I said, okay, well, Von Helton complained that Memantine damaged his mother somehow. So I said, all right, let's go have a look at the side effects. And here you go. What are the most common side effects of Memantine? Dizziness, headache, confusion, constipation, and diarrhea. All right, no problem. What are the serious side effects of Memantine? Aha! Now we're talking. Let's see what maybe Von Helton's got something going here. Oh my God, they gave him Memantine. So, severe allergic reactions, that can be serious. Well, I don't know if that's going to stop anybody from testifying. Okay, so let's see. We got breathing problems or wheezing. We got a racing heart, fever or general ill feeling, swollen lymph nodes, swelling of the face, lips, mouth, tongue, or throat, trouble swallowing or throat tightness, itching, skin rash, or pale red bumps on the skin called hives. Nausea or vomiting, dizziness, feeling lightheaded or fainting, stomach cramps, and joint pain. Okay. Now, he said they doped my mother up with a drug called Memantine so she wouldn't be able to testify. Now, none of those side effects mentioned here, none of them would stop anybody from testifying. None of them. So, okay. I thought that's really all I can do that's all I can sort of dig into. So I had our friends at Grok analyze this and give me I need an answer. I said, I need an answer. And I got an answer. Let's see if I can figure it out here. Where is the answer? Ah, there it is. Okay, let me just fix one thing. Fix one thing. All right, so here we go. So I went to Grok and I said, Grok, what the hell's going on here? So let me see if I can make this a little easier to read. Hang on a sec. Oh, shit. How's that? Anything? I don't know if you can read that. Oh, good enough. All right. So, this is what happens. Grok says, the ex-user at Real Von Helton, who identifies as a light worker Von Helton, appears to be an individual claiming to have experienced significant personal and familial persecution by alleged online terrorist groups. Based on the provided post, here is a summary of what can be inferred about them. So, claims of persecution. Von Helton alleges that for 15 years they have been targeted by 2 online terrorist groups that sent a pipe bomb, human waste, and numerous death threats via email and mail. They claim these groups manipulated local government and child protective services, CPS, to harass their family, leading to their children being taken away and their wife being driven to insanity. Legal and financial allegations as well. They assert that relatives from Ohio used a fraudulent will to steal their mother's estate, including money, jewelry, guns, and documents. Von Helton claims their mother was drugged with memantine to prevent her from testifying and was killed by a clot shot, likely referring to a COVID-19 vaccine, after threatening to go to federal court. They also mention that a legitimate will was later found, but the inheritance was already gone. Well, before I carry on, I just want to say that he claims to have contacted the FBI 15 years ago. Okay, so that's 2010. The COVID didn't come out until 2020. So 10 years after he reported his mother's clot shot death to the FBI, COVID actually appeared. So there's a bit of an issue there, a little timeline issue. So his current situation. Von Helton states that their family has been destroyed, their inheritance and property stolen, and their children forcibly adopted. They claim to be labeled as insane and at risk of being institutionalized, with no perpetrators held accountable. They are appealing to the FBI, specifically tagging Attorney General Pam Bondi and another user at Cash. At Cash actually is Cash Patel, for intervention to recover their inheritance, property, and children. Tone and intent. This post is highly emotional, expressing anger and frustration, indicated by the use of angry emojis, which I had to cut out of this one, out of the PDF, and a plea for help. The use of lightworker in their handle suggests that they may identify with spiritual or New Age beliefs, as the term typically refers to individuals who believe they are here to spread light or positive energy. Well, obviously, Von Helton is not here to do that, because at no point in any time in the video that we've been watching of Von Helton was he spreading light or positive energy. It goes on. Limitations of information. No verifiable details about Von Helton's real-world identity, for example, full name, location, or specific court cases, are provided in the post. And remember, he sent this to Pam Bondi and Cash Patel. The allegations are serious but lack corroborating evidence in the provided context or search results. The claims about terrorist groups, pipe bombs, and CPS harassment are not substantiated by any specific legal or news reports in the referenced web results. The mention of a clot shot aligns with anti-vaccine rhetoric, which may indicate a specific ideological stance, but this is speculative without further context. Okay. No public records or news articles directly linked to @Real Von Helton or their specific claims were found in the provided search results, which limits the ability to verify their story. Additional notes. The post references the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, IC3, which is a legitimate platform for reporting cyber crimes. However, there is no evidence in the search results confirming Von Helton's interaction with the FBI or the incidents they describe. The mention of Attorney General Pam Bondi aligns with a reference to her statement in a 2025 news article about Tesla arson attacks, but there is no direct connection to Von Helton's claims. And that's pretty much it. Where Grok is asking me if I want to go any further with it. So as you can tell, this man is out of his skull with nonsense. So that's pretty much. I don't think he's going to get too far with the FBI. He's actually embarrassed himself with that, if you ask me. All right, but what we could do right now is let's continue with continue with Mr. Von Helton in his World News video. So yeah, this is where we left off.
Here's a man on video with a 5-year-old girl in her underwear.
Okay, he's talking about Hunter Biden, and nobody really cares about Hunter Biden anymore. He goes on about Hunter Biden, then he goes on about something to do with the Pope. He says the Pope says he's Roman, and it's bad for America. Or they're just talking absolute shit. I'm not going to put you through this. Blah, 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 nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Let's see. What does he say now?
I try to warn you people, and
oh yeah,
y'all just don't want to listen to me, I guess. I don't know. You sure as hell don't want to donate. I mean, I'm sitting here waiting for donations.
Don't forget, we just I'll fast forward at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Nah, at least 10 minutes, and he was talking shit, and now he's back to the donating thing.
And they just don't come. So it's like, well, shit, what do you want me to say, man? I got to tell you.
Just say you don't have it.
But people don't want to. I guess they just don't want the truth.
Yeah.
They'd rather listen to some drunk, possibly even a criminal, get online and talk shit about me. He gets $900 fucking dollars. I don't get.
He's still going on about the $900.
So that tells me what you want, right? Yeah, that tells me what you want. You want some drunk talking shit about me rather than me telling you the truth. I mean, what other conclusion can I draw than that? The motherfucker got $909.
Oh, okay. Enough.
Well, wait a minute. Let me see. Can I open in a new tab? Maybe? Let me see. Yeah, there we go. All right. So let's share this.
What's he going to share?
And let's just see that real quick.
Oh, Barry. Oh, no. This, again, more bullshit, more fake science and crap that he goes on. And then he's finished with that, and then that's his way.
Interesting stuff. But, I wanted
to when it gets interesting, I think.
This, and like I said, it's not the good version of barium that you're releasing, okay? It's the toxic version.
Yeah, he was talking about some barium in those cloud things that he says that crazy people claim are in the sky. Anyway.
And, and it's so
he's going to blame his health problems on it.
Through the sky as their anyway. So
chemtrails. That's what he's talking about.
It's important to talk about these things. And so I left the president, that message to
He left the president a message because he's got authority and he's so important. This is how deluded he is. Idiot.
Look into it. Because unfortunately, it's not a good version. I wished it were, but it's not.
What?
It's not good.
Did he just spit?
As their anyway. So, it's important to,
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about these things.
of course.
And so I left the president, that message to,
Very nice of
look
you.
into it.
Very nice of you.
Because unfortunately, it's not
Did you see that? You're gonna see it again.
into it. Because
Ugh.
unfortunately, it's not a good version.
Ugh.
But it's not. It's not the good version. So, you want to hope for the best. You want to believe in the best of things for people, but it's just not to be. Just not to be.
I swear he's projecting. He's totally talking about things that he thinks that he does, but he doesn't do. I don't know. He's confusing me.
Um, I can't comment. No, you have to be a paying member to comment. I had to do that.
Oh, this is
When I had the comments turned on,
yeah. This is where he goes on and on about how he gets trolled and trolled and trolled, and that's why he's turned on membership. So you have to pay money if you want to comment on his shit. So I'm gonna just skip over that a
I
little
had to
bit.
make it pay.
Yeah, yeah,
Waiting for Alvin. Oh, Alvin is a hurricane, I guess, or a tropical storm. Oh, tropical storm
Oh, he's
Alvin.
talking about
Okay.
the stupid weather.
In
Oh,
other
look,
news,
look.
U.S. residents are going to be happy to hear this. It just came out. There's a new website where any U.S. resident, as long as you live within a zip code that qualifies, you can apply to have your auto insurance rates reduced
He holds up the phone to the microphone, and it's an ad.
significantly.
Well, wonderful. Wonderful. That's a fucking ad, folks. That's an ad. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, you can have your insurance reduced. Oh my God. Well, I guess you could if you go to liability. If you go to strictly liability, you can have your insurance cut in
Yeah,
half,
stop
I
talking
guess.
shit. Carry on.
Okay.
Come on, come on. Get to the
Whatever
next.
crap.
Get to the
Yeah,
next
but yeah, you can't
issue.
comment on here unless you're a paying member because
It
I
goes
had to
on
make
more
it that
about
way because
paying the member, paying
they
the
were coming and they're just filling the chat up with racist and hateful comments and doing my time.
Oh,
Now
this
these
coming
trolls
from the Jew
don't
hater.
because the trolls live for that shit. They live to aggravate the fuck out of people online. And why the police don't arrest them for it, I don't know. I mean, isn't that harassment? Hello, FBI, isn't that harassment?
See, there he goes,
But
FBI
apparently
again.
the FBI don't give a fuck about the internet. Nobody does. Nobody gives a fuck about the internet because most government
Okay, so remember when I said earlier that I suggested that Von Helton just stay away from the internet right from the very beginning and focus on his family and no internet and everything would have been wonderful. He would have had a nice, beautiful, healthy family today. So, this is his response.
institutions still regard the internet as fantasy land. They don't realize that the internet is now reality where people can have their lives impacted negatively by the internet. They don't understand that. They don't want to understand it. They just believe that the internet is fantasy land and therefore it's not real and therefore, oh, Bon, you can always turn off the internet.
Yes, Vaughn, you could always turn off the internet. Now, that's fair enough, right? You could always turn off the internet. You know what he's going to do? Instead of saying, yes, I could turn off the internet and I could focus on my family, this is what he says.
Yeah, but if I turn off the internet and all the other good people turn off the internet, the only people that are on the internet will be evil people. Duh. You know,
Did you hear that? If he turns off the internet, that means that, and he considers himself a good person. So if he turns off the internet, that means that all the good people on the planet are also going to turn off the internet. And what's going to be left on the internet are bad people, evil people. And he can't have that, obviously. I mean, he's the authoritarian. I mean, he's the authority figure.
Now, this is not rocket science. It's easy to figure out, right? But yeah, so it's crazy. SBLI. What is? Oh, life insurance. No, I don't need no life insurance.
So this is what he wants to get paid for, folks.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Um. Um. I could think about that one.
What do you think?
Yeah, I understand. Let's get the trolls. Lin May wants me to go after the trolls. Well, my forte is not to turn it into a troll fest. My forte is to talk about the news, weather, maybe some sports, although I'm not big into sports anymore. Used to be big into sports when I was a kid, but then I found out it was nothing but a money racket, and that was really a down for me. So I just,
Oh, so he
just
stopped.
hell with sports. So get away with
Idiot.
it. Anyway, I
What an
think,
idiot.
emphasis on the word think, it's got me caught up.
It's coming to the end.
Double check. Make sure I got everything. But that I was right it's a critical one because because I told you that the Pope serves
There you go.
Vatican. He does not serve America. He is not going to be able to give America any kind of perks.
You know what I think he should talk about? Vaughn, who's lost everything, doesn't have any property, doesn't have any money. Remember how you used to brag almost every live show that that Von Helton did real estate law, 2 years of real estate law. So don't try and pull anything over Vaughn because he's done 2 years of real estate law. Well, if that's the case, Von Helton, how do you land up with acres and acres of real estate one day, and today you got nothing? So what did real estate law actually get you? 2 years of real estate law, which you bragged about for years.
Or anything like that. He's just not. They serve Rome. They serve the Vatican. And,
So
and it's
see,
important for
now
people
he's
to
going on about
understand
the
that.
Pope and what the Pope does. And nobody
'Cause,
cares.
people will think, well, we got an American Pope now, and so now things might be better than they were before. Don't count on it. Don't count on it. I mean, obviously he was picked for a reason, and that reason is that he can be easily controlled and manipulated. Otherwise, he wouldn't be Pope. It's just the way it is, man. Sorry,
See? He's just full
matter
of
all you
info,
want.
isn't he?
But that's just the way that it is. But anyway, that is a half hour, and I've got everything caught up on True Social that I needed to get caught up on, and so we're okay. So we're ready to put this in the can, as they say in showbiz, and call it a day.
All right,
So,
then. See you later.
How long will I
Ooh.
have my internet? I do not know. It could theoretically go down today. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see what goes on.
Okay, then.
Then again, at the last second, some money could arrive that keeps me going.
Very possible.
If I got $400, I'd be able to keep my internet, my phone, and my cable and my mobile device going, and I'd be able to pay the car insurance and get that paid. And until then, though, I'm stuck in a rut. So anyway, that should get everything.
So he doesn't even have $400 for his next month's internet bill. Well, I'm looking forward to his next show. Let's see if
Everything all caught up. So
he says,
we're
yeah.
going ahead and let me turn that on. So we're going ahead and wrap this up.
Okay, so this was recorded yesterday, May 28th. Oh, I suppose I could do something like, oh, no, that's not going to work. Anyway, that was recorded on May the 8th, May 28th, yesterday. And I'm waiting for his next masterpiece. And that's really all I had for you for today for Von Helton. So thank you very much for watching. If you did, I hope you were entertained. You could buy me a coffee if you were. And this is how you do it. You go click, 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 like